The good news is a vaccine will probably be made. The bad news, it may take a little bit of time to get there. Hey everyone, I'm Chad Hasty, host of the Chad Hasty Show, which airs weekday mornings 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time on News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 a.m. KFYO. Dr. Anthony Fauci testifying today in D.C. about the coronavirus and the Trump administration's response to the coronavirus. Dr. Fauci is hopeful that a vaccine could be found by the end of the year or early 2020, according to the New York Post. Now, it's funny how some some websites are phrasing this. Here, the headline here from 6abc.com. Dr. Anthony Fauci hopeful for a coronavirus vaccine by late 2020. The New York Post headline, Dr. Anthony Fauci warns coronavirus vaccine might take some time. They're essentially the exact same story, though. Dr. Anthony Fauci testifying on Tuesday said that he would be cautiously optimistic that a vaccine would be ready by the end of the calendar year and the beginning of 2020. The infectious disease expert saying that when it comes to coronavirus, that a COVID vaccine will be essential to ending the pandemic. And it's not imminent, but instead, Fauci said he urges the public to go get a flu shot to help conserve scarce medical resources later this year. Quote, while it remains very unclear how long the pandemic will last, COVID-19 activity will likely continue for some time. Fauci, the longtime director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, in his prepared testimony for the House Energy and Commerce Committee, he described the progress of a U.S.-backed vaccine efforts. Speaking to members of the panel Tuesday, Fauci said he's, quote, cautiously optimistic that a vaccine distribution can begin by the end of the calendar year and the beginning of 2021. Let's see here. Fauci said it's important to resist rushing. Quote, I would be very disappointed if we jumped to a conclusion before we knew that a vaccine was truly safe and truly effective, because I would not want to perpetual ambiguity of knowing whether or not it's truly safe and effective. That is the reason why we are doing several randomized placebo trials. Still, Fauci said a vaccine might be available to the public in a year to 18 months from when research began in January of 2020. So that's good news, right? That a vaccine is always is on its way. The hope is the sooner the better, of course. And also the question is going to be, how many people are going to line up to take the vaccine? How many people are going to be, in line on day one to take the vaccine versus people who say, okay, I'm going to let the, group A try the vaccine, and then I'll be the, maybe second or third or fourth group who tries the vaccine after that. But good news on the coronavirus front. Some of the other news that made headlines today: Democrats very upset by Dr. Fauci's testimony when Fauci said that Trump never ordered a slowdown of coronavirus testing. This is possibly one of the one of the biggest faux outrages within the last few days, when the president of the United States was giving a rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and he was obviously joking. He was laughing and kind of jubilant while he was up on stage, and he was talking about all the testing that had been done. He's like, I told him slow down the testing so that way we don't have as high of numbers. Well, of course, the media doesn't understand. The media took that as gospel, as truth, and started blaming President Trump for wanting to slow down testing. Dr. Anthony Fauci saying, no, that never happened. He said, quote, it's the opposite, Fauci said in response to a questioning of whether Trump's remarks were true. Dr. Anthony Fauci said he was never ordered, and nobody on the team, at least under his knowledge, was ever ordered to slow down testing, which of course is the truth. We're going to have to deal with coronavirus stuff Folks, we're going to talk about this a lot on Wednesday as we've got some new maybe guidelines for the Texas Education Agency about reopening Texas schools. I still have my doubts if we're going to really see schools start on time, and especially true if we're going to see sports start up on time on the high school football front. Tune in to the Chad Hasty Show weekday mornings, 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time, News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 AM KFYO.